Hey everybody, it's Angie and welcome to Hot and Flashy. In today's video, I wanted to talk all about the best sunscreens for every part of your face, your scalp, your body, so that you can be fully protected from the sun this summer. With the 4th of July weekend coming up, I feel like we're all going to be going out into the sun, spending more time outdoors, and of course we need to protect our skin from those aging, damaging sun's rays. You know, the sun's rays cause 80 to 90% of skin's aging, and they also cause skin cancer. So you definitely want to protect your skin from the sun. Finding the perfect sunscreen for you is so important because the perfect sunscreen for you might not be the same one as the perfect sunscreen for me, but the perfect one for you is the one that you will wear every day, the one that you will actually look forward to putting on in the morning. You will think your skin looks better because you're wearing it. You won't feel greasy, it won't feel heavy, it won't make you break out. You know, if you've tried a few in the past and you were disappointed in them, sunscreens, I want you to know, have come a long way, and so you should be able to find something that you can wear every single day. So I'm going to divide this up into a few different categories because there are so many different categories of sunscreens. There are all mineral sunscreens, there are all chemical sunscreens, there are mineral chemical hybrids, there are sunscreens for face, sunscreens for body. I am going to try to cover every area that you need sunscreen on and give you my top picks for those sunscreens. If you like this kind of video, go ahead and give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. I'd love to have you subscribe. It really helps my channel out. So let's start with the one that I do the most videos on every year, and that would be the all mineral sunscreens for face. I'm going to divide this up by skin type. So I know a lot of people in my audience have dry skin, so let's address dry skin first. All right, so for people with super dry skin, my top two picks are both tinted mineral sunscreens. They are the CeraVe Hydrating Tinted Mineral Sunscreen SPF 30 and Elta MD UV Restore Broad Spectrum SPF 40. Now let's start with the CeraVe because this is a drugstore product. You can pick it up for short money. As you know, you have to use about 1/4 teaspoon of sunscreen for your face and your neck every single day. So you are going to go through it quickly, so this might be the more economical way to go. I like sunscreens that are at least an SPF 30. Most people don't apply enough, and so the higher the SPF, the better the sun protection you'll get if you tend to be skimpy with your sunscreen. This is a great sunscreen because it's super hydrating. Like all CeraVe products, it contains ceramides and niacinamide, hyaluronic acid. So those are all really good hydrating ingredients. And this one has a nice dewy finish. And then the other one that I just mentioned was the Elta MD UV Restore SPF 40. I'm going to show you two different Elta MD sunscreens. This is going to be the more hydrating of the two because this one contains squalane, and that's a really nice kind of a dry oil, so it's not like a greasy oil, but it is going to hydrate your skin. All the Elta MD sunscreens are formulated for post-procedure skin. So that's for people whose skin barrier has been damaged and they need to protect it really well while also soothing it and hydrating it. Let me just show you the tint on the CeraVe and the tint on the Elta MD. Those both feel lightweight and non-greasy. They don't get all tangled up in your hair. They don't leave a white cast because they do have the tint. They dry back and they feel nice and they don't feel heavy. Another one is from Elta MD. It's their UV Elements SPF 44. This is one of my all-time favorite sunscreens. I love this one because the tint is more right for me. Good for people with post-procedure skin. It's hydrating. This one sits so well under makeup. I feel like this is one of the best sunscreens under makeup of all of these. So if you are someone who wears makeup every day, then this would be a better pick for you if you have dry skin. But again, it's a beautiful sunscreen, lightweight, dries and sets, doesn't feel greasy, has a little bit of a dewy finish to it, but not like overly obnoxious shine. So that's why I like this one the best. And then one that I tried more recently is the Color Science Flex Face Shield. This is an SPF 50. This one comes in 4 different shades so that you can choose. It comes out of the bottle kind of whitish. The pigments are encapsulated, and then as you rub it in, the capsules burst and the color comes out so that you can see it. It's supposed to be color matching, but it doesn't actually match. It will stay whatever the color of the pigment is, but at least it comes in 4 different shades. The darkest one is not like super dark, so there are going to be some people who this isn't going to look good on. I love this one because it has a PA++++ rating in addition to the SPF rating. So the PA rating is for UVA rays. SPF rating is only for UVB. Those are like the burning rays. They do also cause your skin cancers, but UVA rays are the ones that cause most of the aging, and they also cause skin cancers. 4+ is really like the best protection. So I love it that Color Science does test their sunscreens for the PA rating and put it right on the bottle so that you know you're getting good UVA protection as well as good UVB protection. This sunscreen also contains niacinamide, which is one of my favorite skincare ingredients. There isn't a ton of it in here, so it shouldn't cause any redness or flushing, so that's a really good one to use, and here are the swatches on those two sunscreens. Next up are two sunscreens that are going to be good for more normal skin. So I don't find these two to be either drying or hydrating. They're just pretty much regular. So if you have just plain old normal skin, you might like one of these. Those two are the Olay Regenerist Mineral Sunscreen and Paula's Choice Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense. These are both SPF 30s. The Olay Mineral Sunscreen is one of the only non-tinted mineral sunscreens that I have to show you today. It's very hard to formulate a mineral sunscreen without it leaving some kind of a white cast. So this one does leave a little bit of a white cast, but it's not bad. If you're on the paler side, you could definitely put this on and use it, or if you wear makeup or some kind of a tinted moisturizer, you could definitely hide the little bit of white cast that this does leave behind. But this is a gorgeous sunscreen. They're so good at formulating, their face creams and everything. I love their Regenerist cream. I've been using that for years and years and years, and if you've used that, that's just what this feels like, except it's a little bit lighter. It's a little more like a lotion version of that cream, but it's very lightweight, and it goes on feeling not greasy at all, and it dries and sets, and it just sets up your skin to look so beautiful, and it wears really great under makeup. This has 17.5% zinc oxide, so if you're in that camp where you like a sunscreen that has high zinc oxide, then this will be one for you. And then Paula's Choice Super Light. This one has antioxidants and resveratrol. Some sunscreens will include some antioxidants in there. Antioxidants can help your sunscreens to work better. The data hasn't really shown that putting them in a sunscreen is really that beneficial. It's really that you need to apply them beforehand, but it's not bad that they're in there, and this is still a good product. This is one of my favorite sunscreens for really making your makeup adhere better to your skin. Like if you use a sunscreen and then you put your makeup on and it wears off a lot faster, you can add a little bit of this to it and it will help your makeup like really grip better to your skin when you're wearing this kind of a sunscreen. The tint on this one is a little bit light and pale for me. I like to mix this one in if, say, I get a slightly darker sunscreen and the tint isn't quite right for me. I'll use this one to lighten it up a little bit. Here's what those two look like on the skin, and these both would be good for more normal skin. All right, and then the last category in the mineral sunscreens are mineral sunscreens that are great for oily skin people. So my number one all mineral sunscreen for combo to oily skin is My Shell Sun Shield. This is an SPF 50. This comes in 4 different colors. There's a plain white one, which I haven't used, so I'm assuming it leaves a white cast, but if you're super pale, you could use that one. And then it comes in 3 different shades. I wear this in the light medium shade, and it's a perfect shade for me. This is the most lightweight, the most fluid sunscreen. It feels like absolutely nothing on your skin. It's so lightweight and fluid that it comes out of a dropper. It just blends right into the skin so quickly, so easily. A lot of the other sunscreens that I'm showing you, you put them on and it really does take 20 minutes for them to like dry back. This one you put it on and it is like bam, instantly dry, instantly set. I would still give it the 15 to 20 minutes to set up before you put your makeup on, just to let it form that film. Like that's what sunscreen needs to do, is form the film on your skin. But look at this one, dry and set already, and it feels like absolutely weightless on the skin. I'm wearing it today. This is fantastic under makeup. It's just an all-around great sunscreen. I love it so much. This one also has a very high zinc oxide content, no titanium dioxide. This is 20% zinc oxide. This one has a matte finish, so if you're oily, this will keep your oils at bay all day. If you have enlarged pores, this makes your enlarged pores really look quite diminished. I love this one. I wear this every day now just as like my tinted moisturizer. It makes my skin look so much better and it works so well under makeup. This one is also reef safe, cruelty-free, and vegan. All right, then another one of my all-time favorite sunscreens that is really great for more oily skin is the Australian Gold Botanical Tinted Face BB SPF 50. This one is also cruelty-free, vegan, reef safe. This one is a lot thicker, a lot puffier, but it almost works like a primer on the skin. It is mattifying and it is so super grippy and tenacious. It's not going anywhere. I've had a lot of people write in and say like they even have a hard time getting it off. Don't scrub at your face. You really just need to use an oil cleanse. Oil breaks up sunscreen. So if you have a sunscreen that's hard to get off, just do an oil cleanse or an oil balm cleanse and you'll be able to get it right off. But anyway, that's the solution to this one. But I love that security of knowing that it's like on there and it's not going anywhere. So this is a really great sunscreen. I love it, but it can feel dry, so I don't recommend it for people with drier skin. But if you have oily skin, it will make your pores look smaller. It will keep your oil under control all day. It has a matte finish and it won't make you look shiny or greasy, and you will probably love it. And here are the swatches on those two sunscreens. Then the third one for oily skin is a Tude House Sun Prize Mild Airy SPF 50. This one is also a PA+++, so pretty good UVA coverage with this one. This one is also very lightweight. It does leave the slightest white cast, so it's best for people with a lighter skin tone. This one does contain quite a high amount of SD alcohol, so that's why I say it's really recommended more for people with oily skin, mainly because it's going to dry up your skin a little bit. If you have dry skin, I would not recommend this one because it's going to dry your skin out more. It's like the name says, it's mild and airy. It doesn't feel like much on the surface of your skin. It dries and sets. It works great under makeup. Really beautiful sunscreen. And here is the swatch on it. All right, so those were all the mineral sunscreens. Next, I've got a couple of hybrid sunscreens for you. These are a mixture of mineral and chemical. The first one is from Replenix. This is their tinted oil-free face sunscreen SPF 50+. This one contains niacinamide, vitamin B5 and E, hyaluronic acid, and caffeine. This one has 14.5% zinc oxide and 7.5% octinoxate. So the zinc oxide is the mineral sunscreen, the octinoxate is a chemical sunscreen. The combination of the two gives you really robust UVA and UVB coverage. This is another tinted sunscreen. This one is really lightweight. It's really nice going on. It is good for all skin types. It didn't feel drying. It didn't feel super greasy. It does have a little bit more of a luminous finish to it, so dry skin people might like it more. But if you're someone who likes that lit from within glow, you could like this one. All right, next up is another drugstore brand. This is a longtime favorite. This is CeraVe AM Facial Moisturizing Lotion, SPF 30. So this one contains homosalate, octinoxate, octocrylene, and zinc oxide. So it is a hybrid sunscreen with mineral and chemical. This one doesn't leave any white cast. It's really lightweight. It goes on the skin beautifully. It dries back and sets. It is a little bit of a luminous finish and it works really well under makeup. It says on the label that this is for normal to dry skin. This is an SPF 30 being CeraVe. It will have the ceramides, glycerin, and hyaluronic acid, maybe even a little niacinamide thrown in. So that's another good one. And here is the swatch on it. All right, so moving on to chemical sunscreens. I only have two of these to show you because of course I haven't used chemical sunscreens a lot over the last few years, but I do still use a couple for when I'm testing foundation. My two favorites are Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Liquid SPF 70 and La Roche-Posay Anthelios Daily Antioxidant Serum with sunscreen. This is the first sunscreen that I started using when I turned 50 and realized that, oh no, roasting my face in the sun for the last 45 years isn't doing me any favors and I need to start wearing sunscreen. Through trial and error, I ended up with this one and I absolutely loved it. It was the first sunscreen that I could actually wear every single day without a lot of problems. It didn't break me out. It didn't make my skin look terrible. It wasn't overly shiny and luminous. It's just a beautiful, beautiful product. It's so lightweight and fluid. You put it on, it just sinks right into your skin. It doesn't make you super shiny. It doesn't make you super greasy. It doesn't leave a white cast. It's just like, was my perfect sunscreen until I started using a bunch of anti-aging acids, and then it started irritating my skin, which is why I switched away from it and launched into looking into all the mineral sunscreen. But if you don't have sensitive skin and you don't have the same problems that I do, then make it easy on yourself. Get a nice chemical sunscreen and just, put that on and use it, because this one is really fantastic. The next one, the Anthelios. This one, again, really lightweight, really airy. These two are not tinted. These are both white sunscreens. They can be, because they actually go on clear. They don't leave a white cast. They look beautiful on the skin. The Anthelios gives more of a luminous finish than the Neutrogena. So depending on what kind of a finish you like, you might prefer the Neutrogena or you might prefer the Anthelios, but they're both great sunscreens. All right, question I get asked all the time is, how do I touch up my sunscreen later in the day if I'm wearing makeup? And it's a really difficult question to answer, but I have done a couple of videos on that, so I'll link one of them up here, and I'll also put it at the end screen so you can watch that. I've got a couple of different ideas for you in there. My favorite one, and this is for not when you're out roasting in the sun, this is for just casual sun exposure. I love the powder mineral sunscreens for touching up, especially if you have like oilier skin and you do get shiny later in the day. These can help to take down the shine, so it's like touching up your makeup and touching up your sunscreen all at the same time. I wouldn't use these as your first line of defense, because it takes a ton of powder sunscreen to get the same kind of coverage that you get out of a standard amount of like lotion or cream sunscreen. But for touch-ups, these are great. From Color Science, this is their Sun Forgettable Broad Spectrum SPF 50 Brush On Sunscreen. And then this one is Derma E Essentials Sun Protection Mineral Powder SPF 30. These are both super easy and convenient to use. They come with a little brush. The powder is in the bottom. You just kind of tap it to get the sunscreen started, and then you just powder it on your face to touch up. You can use it on your neck, your chest, your ears, and I mentioned before, your part. A lot of people get sunburned on their scalp, and so you can use this. You just tap it right in your hair and you can sunscreen your scalp that way. Whenever I do like mainly face sunscreen videos, everyone wants to know what body sunscreen I use. So I've been using the same body sunscreen for a few years. It has gone through a makeover. They've now released it as Banana Boat Light as Air. This is just what it says on the label. It is a body sunscreen that's light as air. I just put this on first thing in the morning when I get out of the shower or when I'm getting dressed. I have this at my vanity, but this is my favorite. It is just so light as air, so easy to rub in. It doesn't make me hot, doesn't make me sweaty, it doesn't gather in my wrinkles, which is something that you have to look forward to if you're younger and watching this video. But this one is just a standard chemical sunscreen. I don't have a recommendation for you for a mineral body sunscreen. I've tried a lot of them. They all leave a major white cast, are heavy, are greasy, are unwearable. Now, before a bunch of you write in that Banana Boat was one of the brands that were in the sunscreen and post-sun products that were independently tested and found to be contaminated with benzene, I'm aware that some Banana Boat products were tested and were positive for small amounts of benzene. I also know that a lot of Banana Boat products were tested and were not found positive for benzene. So you can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater. Same thing with Neutrogena. It is worrisome that it was found in there. It's not a byproduct of the sunscreen. It's not anything that should be in the sunscreen. They tested 278 sunscreens. Of the 278, less than a third were found to be contaminated. So the vast majority were found to be not contaminated. So the light as air sunscreen, though, was not tested. They seem to do a lot of banana boats, a lot of Neutrogenas. The Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Liquid was tested. It was found to not have benzene. So I think it's important to read both lists, the list of sunscreens where things were found to have contamination and the list of sunscreens where things were found to not have contamination. So I'll include links to both of those lists in the information box below the video, along with the article that you can read about. It is upsetting to know that there is a contaminant like that in the production stream somewhere. But definitely check the list. Don't just check the list for the products that came back with contamination. Check the list for products that came back clean so that you can have confidence in your sunscreen. So I hope this video has helped you to find a sunscreen that you can use every day, that you can absolutely love, and I want to make you into a sunscreen convert like me, because now that I've been using sunscreen for almost 9 years consistently every single day, oh my gosh, what a difference it's made in my face. And I think that your skin will really thank you in the end if you protect it from the sun, and especially if you start earlier. Make a commitment to it, do it every day so it just becomes habit, and then your skin will thank you when you're older. So that's it for today's video, everybody. I hope you found it helpful and informative. If you did, go ahead and give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. As always, I thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.